I used to be someone who always looked back. Every time I closed a door, I hesitated. I was afraid that if I walked away, I'd lose something precious, a memory, a person, or a chance that would never return. But one day, I realized something simple yet powerful. To move forward, you must learn to close the door behind you. Back then, my mind was a storm of thoughts. I kept replaying my mistakes, lost relationships, and regrets. The more I remembered, the heavier my heart became, like carrying a backpack full of stones that only grew heavier with each step. One afternoon, overwhelmed and restless, I went for a walk in the park. There, I met an old English gentleman with white hair and calm eyes. We started talking, and he told me a story that completely changed the way I looked at life. He said that when he was young, he once took a walk with Winston Churchill through the courtyard of an old university. Every time they passed through a gate, Churchill would turn around and close it gently. His friend, puzzled, asked, "Sir, do you really need to close every gate you walk through?" Churchill smiled and replied, "Yes. All my life, I've made it a habit to close the gate behind me. When I do, I leave behind everything that has passed, whether it's a victory or a failure. If you don't learn to close doors, you can never truly move forward." I stood silent. Such a simple act, closing a door, yet it carried a profound truth. That day, I realized how many doors in my own life I had left wide open. Later, I heard another story that deepened this lesson, the story of an old blacksmith in a small village. He lived a humble life, making knives and tools for a living. In his shop stood a green porcelain vase, an heirloom passed down from his grandfather. One day, a traveling antique dealer saw the vase and was stunned. He recognized it as the work of a famous master craftsman. "This vase is priceless," the dealer said. "I'll give you 400 million for it." The blacksmith was shocked, but shook his head. "No, it's a family keepsake. I won't sell it." After the man left, the old blacksmith couldn't sleep. Now that he knew how valuable the vase was, he could no longer rest easy. He worried about thieves, about breaking it, about losing it. The peace in his little home was gone. The next day, the dealer returned, this time offering double the price. News spread through the village. People crowded around, eager to see this precious treasure. But in the chaos, a small child accidentally knocked over the table. The vase shattered into pieces. The crowd froze. The child's parents were terrified, apologizing in tears. But the old man simply sighed and said calmly, "Let it go." Ever since I found out this vase was valuable, I haven't felt at peace. Now that it's gone, I finally feel free again. That line struck me deeply. True happiness doesn't come from how much you have, but from how lightly you can live. The more tightly you cling, the more it owns you. Years later, I met a wise monk while traveling. I told him that I couldn't let go of the past, that I feared loss and starting over. He smiled gently and led me to a wide stretch of sand behind the temple. In his hands was a woven basket. "Walk with me," he said, "and pick up the stones you find beautiful." So I did. I picked one, then another, then another. Soon, the basket grew heavy. Still, I kept collecting. Each stone seemed too precious to leave behind. After a while, I grew tired, my shoulders aching, my breath uneven. When I looked ahead, I saw an oasis just a short distance away, but I was too exhausted to reach it. The monk looked at me and said softly, "Your life is like this basket. At first, it's empty, light, and free. But as you walk, you pick up things worries, regrets, ambitions, memories, people. The more you carry, the harder it is to move forward. I stared at the basket, then slowly set it down. In that moment, a strange calmness filled me, a peace I hadn't felt in years. Since that day, I've learned to close the doors behind me, not because I don't care, but because I finally understand. Only by closing the past can you truly open the future. I began forgiving those who hurt me. I stopped blaming myself for what went wrong, and I said goodbye to the version of me that was always afraid to let go. Every morning, when I step outside my home, I remember Churchill's words, "Close the door behind you." Today, I live lighter. I've learned that life isn't about how much you can collect. It's about how much you can release. If you keep looking back, the present will fade away. But take one brave step forward, and the light will return. Success and failure, joy and pain, they all pass. Every door that closes opens another, and sometimes, only by daring to close one, you finally find freedom. Close the door behind you, because beyond it lies the past, and in front of you is the light of a new beginning, waiting